what's up everybody, welcome back. So today I'm reviewing another laptop from ASUS, and today I'm checking out their Zephyrus S, the GX501G, which is a pretty interesting and pretty powerful laptop with a RTX graphics card in it. Now, how good is it? How good of a bang for buck this laptop is? Should you buy it or not? That's what we're gonna try and find out in today's video. So if you're interested, keep checking the video. But first of all, check out some of the close-up shots of this laptop, and then I'm gonna talk a lot more about it. So now that we've taken a quick little peek at the laptop itself, I mean, again, the design job is absolutely stunning, but I'm gonna come to that in a minute. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the specifications. So it has a proper i7-9750H processor in it with NVIDIA's RTX 2060 as a proper video card. It also comes with 16 gigs of DDR4 memory and 1 TB of M.2 SSD, which can be upgraded and even ran in RAID 0, as the laptop has space for 2 PCI Express Gen 3 M.2 storage devices. And yeah, for our viewing pleasure, it has a proper 15.6-inch 1080p screen with 144Hz and G-Sync support. Also, the Zephyrus S comes with Wi-Fi 5 support, so you can enjoy a great streaming experience, and it even comes with a separate, pretty decent quality webcam to help you get started on doing some live streams if you wish to do so. Right, so for reference, I'm recording at the moment with my Logitech C920, and I'm going to be switching over to this webcam that we received with the Zephyrus S. So yeah, just for reference, this is the quality of a proper Logitech C920. So yeah, let's switch over to that and see what quality can that bring us. Alright, so this is the quality of the webcam that is bundled with the Zephyrus S here, and it's weirdly twitching at the moment. It might be to do something with the extra long USB cable that I'm using, or some other factor, because I'm using Windows 10's own webcam software here. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, the quality, I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not good either, right? With a cheap $60, C920, you can't really compare them. The audio quality is, I kinda like it a little bit better even on the Zephyrus S webcam here than on the C920, but then again, I don't know, maybe it picks up some other noises that I don't want. So, I mean, the microphones are never really good in webcams. But anyway, this is the quality. So, I mean, it's pretty okay, but it's twitching a lot for me for whatever reason. Anyway, yeah, that's the quality. And yeah, finally for audio, the GX502G has an ESS Sabre Hi-Fi DAC, which delivers a really nice audio experience for us. So overall, you'll be getting an insane gaming experience while at the same time getting great colors. And yeah, quickly covering the ports as well, we can find one HDMI, one USB and a microphone plus a headphone jack from the left side, and on the right side of the laptop we find 2 more USB ports, with a third one being a USB Type-C that can even power a display or the laptop itself, which I'm gonna come back into in a minute. So all in all, the Zephyrus S GX502G is pretty rich feature-wise. I mean, it's a pretty decent laptop for pretty much everybody. And one of the main features that I really love about this laptop that makes it a little bit better than any competition out there, I would suppose. So at least it's the first one that I have tested, which has a pretty special trick up its sleeves. So what I'm talking about here is a small little button that when you push that button, it switches the RTX 2060 to the Intel's 630 GPU, the video card. So that means you get a lot more out of your battery, and you can charge your laptop via the USB Type-C port, which is absolutely amazing. So you don't need a huge power brick to power the laptop, and you can, you know, get a lot more battery life out of it. So perfect for going on some long plane trips, I guess, and you know, just powering it from the USB port. So I mean, that's an incredible feature. I really love this. So it isn't like stuck in a gaming mode, and it's all the time, you know, making huge loud noise, right, or something like that. It can be really quiet and still do pretty much every task that you want. But when you want to start gaming, right, you can just enable RTX graphics card, which is it's just I don't know why, you know, many other manufacturers out there didn't think of this before. But I mean, yeah, you can switch off the gaming video card and turn on Intel's graphics card to get a lot more out of your battery. And for the battery itself, it does go around 7 to 8 hours on the Intel GPU. On the RTX, you know, it's like half an hour. But yeah, with an Intel GPU, you can pretty much get away with a lot. Now, coming quickly to the design, I mean, as you could already see, the design job on this laptop is short of breathtaking, right? The lid cover being made from brushed magnesium, and the entire laptop itself is covered in this soft rubbery coating, which ASUS has been keen on saying and telling to me personally face to face that this is a new compound mixture and it shouldn't peel off over time, which if true is a really nice feature, as I love this material. It also has very thin bezels on the left, right and upper side of the screen, making it look really nice. And yeah, the keyboard itself is powered by ASUS's Aura Sync RGB goodness. So yeah, the laptop looks extra beautiful when the lights are turned off. Also, as you could perhaps already see, the laptop itself detaches from the bottom to open the laptop up further to help with the cooling. It's a neat feature and helps for sure, but I hate when my mouse cable or some other cable gets stuck in the middle of it. Also, something to note is that ASUS has implemented something called self-cleaning fans. So what it means is that ASUS has developed an additional chamber that is supposed to catch dust particles and repels them outside of the chassis. I mean, it all sounds pretty cool, but I haven't had the time to use this laptop for a year or so when it would start to matter, you know. But overall, I think this is a great feature and that should extend the overall lifespan of the laptop by a long shot, hopefully. Overall, I had a really great time with this laptop, and yeah, I did run through some benchmarks as well, and I'm gonna show them to you in live, so you could actually see, you know, what's happening on the screen at the same time my benchmark is going through. So should be maybe interesting for you to, you know, compare at home with your own laptops running the same test and seeing and comparing the results. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I'm gonna play those benchmarking videos now, so check them out. Alright, so before I begin my benchmarking here, a quick look at the temperatures as well in idle, right? So around 55 degrees for the CPU, and the same goes for the GPU, right? About 56 degrees for RTX 2060, and yeah, about 55 for the i7-9750H. So let's check back here after all my benchmarking is done to see, you know, how far the temperatures reached while doing some, you know, regular benchmarking and no overclocking or stuff like that, just, you know, playing some games, right? So it should give us a pretty neat idea how hot this actual laptop would get. So hopefully we'll see around 80 degrees, right? But I fear we might see a little bit higher than that. But anyway, yeah, let's move on to the first benchmark, which is, well, Fortnite. Alright, so let's begin with Fortnite here, and yeah, in the settings menu, using 1080p resolution, right? And let's leave everything to the most maximum detail possible, so epic detail, right? And yeah, let's see how the frame rate fares. The Shadow Blaze frames per second is on the upper right corner there, as you can see, live frame rate. And yeah, let's hit play and check out how, you know, frame rate fares, and maybe even, you know, try it out at the lowest settings as well. Alright, so finally made it in game actually, and as you can see, guys, 83, 88, 90 frames per second, 65, 68, 66, 70. I mean, it's a pretty nice frame rate at the moment here. We're gonna be, you know, heading on the main island in a second, and gonna check out what the frame rate does there. But about 70 frames per second is average, I would say, right? 74. All right. So let's jump off somewhere in the greens, and yeah, let's check out how the frame rate fares there. But I would say, yeah, about average, like 70 frames per second, right? Let's jump off. So totally enjoyable to play. It does tip to 45 for a second here, but nope, it's again 70. So around 70 frames per second on maximum detail on 1080p. So yeah, pretty good stuff so far. Let's of course try and you know, mess about with the detail settings a little bit. So let's set everything to the lowest settings as well to see if we could hit, you know, 144 frames per second and to fully utilize this beautiful IPS panel that the Zephyrus S has here. And yeah, I mean, if you ask me if I should buy an IPS panel or a TN panel over an IPS, I'd say, you know, get an IPS panel every day, because look at the vibrant colors. Colors are just popping off, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Versus a TN panel, which, you know, could get you 1 millisecond response time, right? But the colors would be flat. They wouldn't pop out like this. It's just absolutely beautiful colors on the screen here. And yeah, 3 milliseconds. I mean, that's nothing, absolutely nothing bad, right? So let's head over on this peak here. Let's look over here. So we see we have like 96, 95 frames per second, right? So let's head into the settings and let's put everything to the lowest settings, but leave the resolution on 1080p, right? And see how much frame rate we can gain. So 140-ish frames per second on the lowest detail. So it's almost hitting the 144 hertz threshold, right? So we can almost fully utilize 144 hertz. Of course, this frame rate might vary on location to location, right? But I'd say, you know, yeah, average over 100 frames per second, right? Yeah, I mean, of course we can, you know, go back and put everything to the epic detail, to the most maximum detail, but we would be getting a lot less frame rates, still 90 frames per second or something like that. Still really darn wonderful to play. Yeah, I mean, let's head on over to Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well, which is a proper AAA game, right? And let's see how the benchmark scores there and what our average frame rate would be there. But for you know, Fortnite players, absolutely amazing system, laptop to play Fortnite on. So RTX 2060 and the i7 9750H. Right, so Assassin's Creed Odyssey finally running here, and yeah, first things first, let's head into the settings menu and check out, you know, all the graphical details. What I've used here for this today's benchmark, but yeah, in short, it's gonna be maximum detail, right? On 1080p resolution, and yeah, i7 9750H, right, and on RTX 2060, running the 436.30 drivers. So yeah, in graphic settings, right, everything set to the highest detail without anti-aliasing, because that just, you know, blurs things too much and takes too much of a toll on frame rate, right? So there's no point in using it. And yeah, let's just take benchmark and see how this laptop actually fares here. Alright, so let's see. 46, 45, 42 frames per second here at the very beginning shot, and dipping a little bit below 30 even. So yeah, still trying to be above 30 frames per second, but it's struggling. So about 30 frames per second as average, I would presume, right? That's yeah, definitely not what I was expecting for an from an RTX 2060, but we do have to take into consideration this is a proper laptop, right? For a gaming laptop, nonetheless. Definitely not hitting that 144 Hz threshold, but still, I mean, it's a proper AAA game on a huge open world, right? So it definitely takes a toll on any computer, right? But yeah, I would say about 30 frames per second as average. But yeah, take into consideration everything is turned to the highest quality possible at the moment. So 35 frames per second, right? And yeah, I mean, I guess you could get a little bit better, maybe even hit that 60 frames per second mark if you, mess about with the detail settings. But this is the result for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A little bit low. Definitely would have expected a little bit better score here. But then again, it is a proper AAA game. Anyway, let's move on to the next AAA game I have in store, which is going to be Tom Clancy's The Division 2. So let's run that benchmark as well and see how it fares there. Alright, so made it to Tom Clancy's The Division 2 here, and straight away heading into the settings menu, right? 1080p resolution, right? DirectX 12 enabled, and in the graphics settings, everything turned to the most maximum detail possible, and yeah, resolutions scaled 100%, right? And the only thing that I kinda tried to disable is anti-aliasing, which I cannot turn below medium for whatever reason. Anyway, let's quickly run the benchmark and see, how this laptop fares. Alright, so benchmarking has begun. 66 frames per second at the very beginning shot here, running down below to the 50s to 55 frames per second as average or something like that, right? So I mean, pretty decent, nothing spectacular, right? We're not hitting 144 here, but everything is turned to the most maximum detail, and again, everything looks so beautiful in this game, and thanks to the IPS 144 Hz panel, right? The colors are just absolutely amazingly good. They kind of like pop out of the screen a little bit. So yeah, really satisfied with the screen here, with its well, pretty thin bezels, right? But yeah, 5440 frames per second. I guess you can get almost double the frame rate here if you do everything to the most lowest settings, and try to find a good middle ground, right? But at the moment, everything turned to the most highest settings, and it is comfortably over 40 frames per second as average. Okay, it dipped a little bit under 40 for a second here, but yeah, I'd say like a 40 to 50 frames per second is average, right? Let's see, we should get the results any second now, and yeah, 48 frames per second is average, which is pretty decent, 4290 points, right? And yeah, I guess yeah, nothing really bad to say here. Maybe could have been a little bit better, right? But everything is turned up to the most highest settings possible. Yeah, anyway, that's it for Tom Clancy's Division here, and let's quickly run into Battlefield 5 as well and check out how the ray tracing technology actually works as well. How much frame rate do we lose or gain if we enable or disable ray tracing. So let's check that out as well. Alright. Alright, so let's check out some ray tracing stuff also in Battlefield 5 and in video settings, you know, 1080p, right? And yeah, I'm gonna be using everything on ultra settings, except the anti-aliasing, right? And we're gonna maybe play around and maybe see if we can get a little bit more out of our frames per second, right? So our frame counter is on the upper right side of the screen here. And yeah, let's select the campaign mission and see how it fares. And a quick audio test as well here. The speakers are bloody amazing. The bass is just so nice on these speakers here. One of the better speakers that I've heard on any laptop. And yeah, the sound quality is absolutely amazing. Totally, you know, immerses you whatever you're watching or playing, right? If you can stand the ventilation noise that's coming out from the laptop. But yeah, wow, really amazing quality speakers in the Zephyrus S here, and a really nice, you know, touch to quickly adjust the audio here as well. Anyway, yeah. Alright, so 45, 47 frames per second, 40 here, 42, 41. I mean, I wasn't expecting such a good frame rate actually. With everything turned to ultra detail and also ray tracing enabled. So constantly over 30 frames per second, around that 40 frames per second mark, which is a lot better than 30. But yeah, 38, 39, yeah, about 40 frames per second here in the beginning. And totally playable, and it looks amazing, with ray tracing, oh my god. But yeah, dropping around 35 here, but not really dropping below 30, so definitely playable. It's more like a cinematic experience, right? Playing single player games. Not meant for competitive games, but if you wanna, you know, experience a really nice graphical quality in a video game, in a single player game, right? Something that comes up, maybe like Cyberpunk 2077, right? That might be pretty neat on this laptop. I guess that will also get us around the same frame rate, maybe. Perhaps, don't take my word on it yet, but you know, seeing how well it performs here in Battlefield 5 with everything turned to ultra, with ray tracing enabled, I mean, that gives me a pretty good hope for, you know, Cyberpunk and games like that, right? But anyway, yeah, let's quickly turn off the ray tracing support as well and see what the frame rate does, right? So let's see, we have 30, let's take this shot here. So we have 36 frames, 33, around 36 frames per second here, right? And let's go into the settings and let's actually just disable the ray tracing, right? If we again, yeah, let's, I need to restart the game, but let's then just, you know, let's set it to low. Let's set ray tracing to low setting. And we are getting 50. So around 50 frames per second. That's what, like a 15 frames per second improvement? And we're still getting the benefit of ray tracing. Not as pretty, but it's still definitely working. And 50 frames per second, wow, that's really neat. Although I guess we could get a lot better frames, you know, when, you know, turning ray tracing off completely, I guess. But we're gonna check out that as well. First, I'm gonna just play around a little bit, get the idea of how this laptop performs here. Around 50 frames per second, 40 to 50, right? All right, let's duck and cover for a second here, and let's quickly turn everything. Yeah, it's not around 50 frames per second, right? Let's turn everything to the lowest settings possible. So let's select low, right? Everything is turned to low, and see if our frame rate gets better. It doesn't. Oh, it does. 67 frames per second on the lowest setting, and this still has ray tracing enabled, right? Which is pretty neat. 67, although graphics are at the lowest setting, but still, you know, it looks pretty decent. Quickly, let's do one small little thing more here, and let's go custom, and let's put the ray tracing to ultra detail. So ray tracing is now on the most maximum detail possible. So we had like 60 something, right? And it's locked at 48. Yeah, around 48. I mean, the graphics quality setting didn't really do much, right? Because at ultra we only get like around 10 frames per second less performance, right? 42 frames per second here. And let's put everything back to ultra detail here. Alright. So everything is at ultra now. So let's see if we lose a lot of frames or not. So 35 to 36 frames per second. Around 40-ish, like definitely over 30, a little bit below 40. But definitely playable. Definitely playable and enjoyable, right? A really nice cinematic experience here. Alright, I guess I'm quickly gonna check out what the frame rate is without any ray tracing. So I'll be back in a second here. Alright, so everything on ultra 69, 63, 65 frames per second. And ray tracing is now disabled, so you can't see the pretty reflections. Although they still do look pretty nice. 77, 80 frames per second. And yeah, I mean, a pretty decent frame rate gain, right? But still not an amazing result, in my opinion. Although 72 frames per second, so it's pretty much double the frame rate, right? I don't know what they actually, like, didn't Battlefield like release an update, or Nvidia release an update that was supposed to fix ray tracing performance issues, and it's not 50% lost now? It's still 50% lost. It's 74 frames per second without any ray tracing, ultra detail, and we got 36 before, we got 74 now. It's literally double. But yeah, I mean, reflections do not stand out anymore, right? But still, I mean, it looks decent, right? You know, it doesn't look realistic, right? But it still immerses you quite decent, I would say. Yeah, quickly let's check out. We get 83 frames per second here. Let's go into the settings, and let's put everything to the lowest setting and see if we can break 144 frames per second maybe. Yes, maybe, perhaps. Still around 60. Any minute now. What? What's going on? Still 60. I guess it's CPU locked or something. Can't be, right? But 60 frames per second. Nothing really changed if we took the quality down from ultra to the lowest setting. We still, you know, cap out around 60 frames per second. So 144 frames per second hertz here is absolutely useless, right? But still, I mean, plays decently, but really baffled why I'm getting the same result as on ultra detail, right? So 70 frames per second, right? Let's go into the settings. Let's put everything back to ultra detail, and ray tracing is disabled. Let's see. Okay, slight frame rate change, but it's kind of similar with ray tracing at the lowest setting, so it's pretty interesting. There's no real benefit in turning ray tracing off at all. So you could, enable ray tracing at the lowest setting and still get the same frame rate, right? About the same, right? That's really neat to, know, because the reflection is absolutely gone here, and the frame rate is pretty much the same as we got with ray tracing set to the lowest setting. So yeah, I mean, this laptop with ray tracing at lowest setting is pretty decent. But then again, question does arise, why do we have such a low frame rate? Can it really be something to do with the CPU bottleneck? Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for my Battlefield 5 benchmarking here. Alright, so quickly checking out what the temperatures have done, and we can see that the CPU did not exceed 83 degrees, which is absolutely a great result. So around low 80s to 83 degrees. So yeah, on the highest temperature that it achieved while playing and running through this benchmark. And video card's temperature did not exceed 73 degrees. So I mean, that's a really nice result. Considering a lot of laptops nowadays go to around 100 degrees when playing video games. Which is really hot when you wanna use your hand on the laptop itself, right? Because all the cooling solution is exactly under your hands, right? But yeah, 73 degrees. I mean, it's hot, right? But for a gaming laptop with an RTX 2060, nothing too bad. So yeah, that's gonna conclude my benchmarking here today. Thanks for watching. Alright, so what are my final thoughts about the Zephyrus S GX502G? I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's literally one of the very best RTX 2060 laptops out there in the wild, right? I did check out the prices, and the price is totally fine. It's like about 200 to 300 euros more expensive than the cheapest RTX 2060 models out there. But considering you can switch to GPU stuff and everything like that, I mean, it's an overall a really great gaming laptop, right? Beautiful design job, excellent cooling solution, right? Really nice display, really nice colors and stuff like that. I mean, hardly anything bad to say here, and for that reason I'm gonna give the Zephyrus S GX502G a whopping 9.5 out of 10, and yeah, really hard to pick anything bad to say about this laptop. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 maybe. I mean, I guess maybe I would have given it a 10 out of 10 if it wouldn't have the rubbery coating, or if it could choose from rubbery coating or non-rubbery, So yeah, I mean, I'm still really skeptical about the rubbery coating, and I guess that's the main issue, that I'm not giving it a whopping 10 out of 10. So a perfect laptop nonetheless, right? And if it's true that the rubbery coating doesn't peel anymore or gets sticky or stuff like that, I mean, it's gonna be a 10 out of 10 laptop, right? But I don't have a year or so to test this laptop every day, so I guess I'm gonna wait and see what other people, after a year or two, have to say about it. But anyway, that's gonna be it for my quick little review about this laptop. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up, and if you have any questions at all, leave them down below in the comment section. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So yeah, that's gonna be it for my video review now. And yeah, we'll be seeing you soon, guys, so stick around, and yeah, enjoy the last days of the summer, I guess. It's already the first days of winter now, right? Oh god. Alright, anyway, ciao for now.